Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers! In today's video, we're looking at something very unique, and I don't think I've done a video on anything like this before. This is the FI-T2 boarding craft, which is, well, as it says on the name, a boarding ship that allows you to take out the guns of an enemy vehicle and then clamp yourself onto them to be able to then assault the base, take over the ship, or well, just loot it for any kind of resources. So this thing comes equipped with two turrets on the top and the bottom. By default, they are targeting the weapons of the enemy ships, and you've got two static guns at the front there to manually shoot stuff with. We've got our two magnetic plates to clamp ourselves down onto the enemy, and round towards the very back where I was sitting, we've got this little area where 4 people can sit inside, and does come with a survival kit, and some weapon lockers for you to store a few bits and bobs inside, and of course to respawn yourself, refill your jetpack, if that's what you need. So we'll come around like so, press F10 and find this in the spawn menu. The FI-T2 boarding craft is 516 small blocks, using the Heavy Industry Warfare 2 and Warfare 1 packs. We also have a nice lot of information about it, such as its battery power and how long it will last. We see our seat capacity, we see our weapons. Then down here we see that it's made out of heavy armored blocks to give it a nice bit of protection. So giving this thing a thumbs up, move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside. Then we'll go and test it out against some nearby enemy pirates, which are sitting quite far in the distance over there. You might be able to make it out, it's just that little yellow dot right between the blues. And yes, we'll go and see how this handles it. So at the very front, what we got is a camera with 2 autocannons to precisely shoot your enemies. On the left and right hand side, it's our magnetic plates to clamp ourselves onto the enemy. And just above that, we see a few window blocks for a cockpit right behind it, for your pilot to drive this thing around, and of course to control all the stuff about the ship. Moving around on the side, we see a couple of ion thrusters help us move us down in space. We see the turrets on the top and the bottom, as well as a spotlight to light up the darkness. All around onto the side, we've got a hell of a lot of heavy armored steel blocks. I'll eventually come across some more ion thrusters to our left and right. There's a blinking green light on this side. All the way down here, I'm putting my light on. We see a couple of gyroscopes with an easy access to repair them up if they ever took damage. Then around towards the very back, where I was sitting at the very start, got ourselves one large ion thruster, and then a couple of seats for your passengers to sit on, a couple of weapon lockers, we've got a cargo container, we've got a survival kit, we've got a battery, we've got our ejector connector, a couple of lights, and that's about it. If you were to move up and look down at this thing, there we go, so we see some more thrusters. There's our seats, there's our lockers, there's a little button to control the lights, there's our connector that goes across to our cargo container onto our turrets, and there's our little area where our cockpit is sitting behind our window blocks. Moving all down underneath this thing, past our magnetic plates, there's our other turret, there's some more ion thrusters. Around towards the very back, there's our gyroscopes. Then just under here, we do have a few more ion thrusters to help slow this thing down. And there we go. That's a brief look around the outside of the FI-T2 boarding craft. And that's great how it's all been set up. It's a very useful ship at the end of the day because you can snipe out all the enemy turrets, then clamp onto them. And now you've got everything you need to actually dismantle them, collect up all the stuff off them, or even just drag it back to base if you were, say, recovering a wreckage. Now what I can do is just grab hold of my character. What we'll do is have a quick look at the back. So moving my character backwards, we see we've got some weapon lockers on the side. Coming into this one, we see we've got ourselves some rapid-fire rifles. Onto the opposite side, again, some rapid-fire rifles. To the cargo container, we've got some medkits and some ammunition. There is our survival kit to recharge ourselves on. There's a button for the lights to turn on and off. Then into here is going to be for our connector, which is where our ammo for our autocannons is currently sitting. There we go. That is that for the back. So now all I've got to do is come around towards the very back of this thing, onto this side where the window pane is missing, hopping into the cockpit, first person view. This is all we can see, which is perfectly fine because we are heavily armoured, and unlike our passengers sitting in the back, we're going to be taking the brunt of any kind of shots coming towards us. Yes, looking down we see our gravity, we see our power and hydrogen. Then bring up the HUD, we only got one tab to go through, where number 1's going to be for our batteries to turn on and off. Number 2, number 3 is for our gyroscopes and some of the thrusters around the ship. So pressing number 3, we see our large thrust at the back turns off. You no longer move this around with the mouse, but we can still move left and right. Pressing number 2, that will come back online, and we're ready to drive this thing around. Number 4 is for our small connector up there to lock and unlock it. Number 5 is for our magnetic plates on the front to lock and unlock them. Number 6 for our spotlights at the top of the ship, turn them on and off. Number 7 for our camera in between our autocannons. Number 8 is to take over the autocannons and blast enemies with. We'll just double check to make sure they're still there. Yes, they are. Then number 9 is for our turrets to turn them on and off. And of course, if you want to change the targeting, you can come into here, find the turrets, there they are. And by default, they are targeted weapons. Can always go for propulsion if you want to, say, take out an unarmed ship. With that all done and out of the way, what we're going to do is now move slowly over to the enemies by testing out the thrusters. So moving forwards, this is what we get. we are fairly slow at the end of the day, so we will have to be very careful as we approach the enemies. Letting go in that, coming to a stop, again, we are very slow, so do be very careful when you're attempting to climb onto the enemy, because you can easily just slam into them and explode everything. Now that we come to a stop, we can move left, and move right. We are very slow with that. Moving down, and then moving up. Feels about the same as moving forwards and backwards, so it's fairly slow overall. But for gyroscopes, this is what we get. Unlike everything else, we are very responsive, very speedy with that. It has a hint of weight on there, so it's not too floaty, and generally what I like when it comes to a small ship. Of course, if you don't like it, you can always turn down gyroscopes. That's personal preference at the end of the day. But for these pirates in distance, what we're going to do is now fly up to them, slowly disable their guns, then climb onto them, because I can't find a moving target to actually demonstrate this ship properly. And here we are, we're now right outside the space pirates. There they are, they should have a few turrets around the outside. In fact, it looks like a rocket turret down there. So what we're going to do is now slowly drive up to it, and our guns should engage them and slowly disable them. So here we go, nice and slowly, very slowly, because I'm not sure what to expect on this. It doesn't look like it has that many turrets around the outside, but then again, they could be hidden away inside. And I have spotted while the game is paused, just above it, in fact, if I was to unpause it like so, move the camera up, can see a decoy, so they are ready for combat. Here we go, we're going to keep going towards it. There is their Gatling guns, going to try and shoot them with the autocannons. They're going to do a lot of damage, so hopefully the heavy armor can take this. But there goes that turret. And it looks like the turrets are going for some internal turrets. And we might be able to make them out shortly. But there is a decoy that's going to actually blow that up, make sure they don't get distracted. Now it's time to move around. There's an interior turret right there. I was expecting to have stuff hidden away. Looks like another one could be in that. There we go, we'll let the smoke clear. And I'm just going to move away. Hopefully I can slow down in time. And we'll slowly move around the outside of this thing. And I guess we'll go and clamp ourselves onto it and be ready to board the ship. Although I think it's more of a station because I can't see any thrusters. But well, you can use your imagination. And there we go, there's an open doorway, in fact with the wrong way up. So go and spin that all the way around. There we go. And now we can just move around to the opposite side. And hopefully that wasn't the side that just came from. And it looks like they've got a nice lot of stuff on the inside, and not too many turrets, which is quite nice. So yes, what I'm going to do now is come out of the camera, and it's time to, well, that's a wonky view. But now we're going to come all the way up to it, nice and slowly, and we're going to clamp ourselves straight onto it. But what I've done is the foolish thing of not letting it come very slowly, and well, I've damaged one of the magnetic plates. Here we go, we can now clamp on with the other one, all the way up to it, and very slowly. It looks like we are now connected, and they are trying to move away from this, so this thing is slowly moving. So hopefully the thrusters can handle this and bring it to a stop. And then, well, once I'm done, I can now move this thing away and take it back to base if I want to. If not, I can hop out of here, come around towards the very back, get one of these guns out of the container, so opening up this, dragging that out, although I don't need to do that because I'm being creative. Now find one of the guns, bring it down to here, there we go. And now, I can just fly around to here and head on inside and see if they've got any goodies for me to collect. But yes, that is that pretty much for the FI-T2 boarding craft. It's a lovely little vehicle that you could get a lot of use out of, especially if you're using one of the modular encounter systems. We have a bunch of ships flying around in space. Some of them could be armed, some of them could be transport ships, and you could use that to board them, gather up all the resources, and well, just go and be a pirate in general. But yes, as of that is pretty much it for this video. There'll be a link to its description below, as well as a link to the Skybox I'm currently using. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.